Warning: this show contains content that some may find disturbing. Audience discretion is advised.
Disturb me, show me the truth I shouldn't see. Disturb me, show me the truth I shouldn't see.
Welcome, my friends, or our friends,
It's hour now.
to Disturb Me, a podcast where we will share with each other and you the most disturbing stories that we could find, we could come up with, to see which one of us could disturb the other the most. I'm Chris Feinstein, joined by my lovely wife, Megan Feinstein.
That's me.
And this is episode 1 of Disturb Me. We will be sharing stories that neither of us know about, which is interesting. We both are going in blind, and I think that's the theme we're going to keep throughout the remainder of this show, as long as this show runs. We will be blind picking. Not blind picking, because I know what I'm picking, and you know what you're picking.
Well, that's the thing. So I'm going in telling a story that Chris has no idea what I'm going to talk about, and vice versa. So I think it'll be really fun to see who can freak the other out more.
Yeah. Or freak one of you out more. You have to let us know. And on episode 1, are you starting us?
I think so.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So out west, hidden beneath. You're nervous?
A little bit.
You might.
I don't
You
know.
probably should be, because this might freak you out, because I obviously know you personally. So out west, hidden beneath the rolling hills of Utah, there's a place so tight and winding that only the bravest, or in my opinion, the most foolish, dare to explore. I'm talking about Nutty Putty Cave. Have you heard of
Nutty Putty Cave?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
You haven't heard of
I have not, in all of my researches and folklore-ish things that I partake in my other show. I have not ever heard. I'm genuinely shocked that I've never heard of this.
And Nutty Putty Cave, I mean, it could be because it's more recent. So what I'm talking about is in the 2000s.
Okay.
This isn't old, super well. I mean, I guess nowadays it's
Well, I mean, when in the 2000s? 2001 is
2009.
like 4 years ago. That's pretty, I mean, in the upper teens there.
Yeah, 2009.
Okay.
So here we go. Nutty Putty Cave. The first thing I thought about was Silly Putty. If anybody remembers Silly Putty, when I learned the name of this cave.
Yeah. I thought of Nutty Buddy.
Oh, and Nutty Buddy.
Remember that?
Yeah, the snack.
It's
Yep.
delicious.
Do remember that. We're aging ourselves here.
Yeah.
Totally. All right. So people first started exploring Nutty Putty Cave in the 1960s. It was discovered by a caver named Dale Green in 1960, who was part of a group mapping out caves in Utah. The cave quickly became popular among spelunkers due to its unique, narrow, and winding passageways.
Oh, is this like a cave diving?
It's a cave diving story. I know. This is why I picked it.
Why do people do that?
Right.
What's
Here's
the
thing.
thrill?
You had the option to stay home. And like, this is coming from somebody, I'm somewhat of an adrenaline seeker. I mean, on our honeymoon, I did the longest zip line over water
Yeah.
when we were in Haiti. Like, I like to do stuff, but this?
It's just so ridiculous. It's just like, oh, look at this tiny, inescapable crack that I'm going to wedge my body in.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
That's what we're going to talk about.
Oh, God.
So the reason it's called Nutty Putty Cave is because
You have to be nutty to...
you do have to be a nut to do this. A lot of the passageways were actually filled with a soft clay-like material, so it got its name Nutty Putty.
Okay.
So over the decades, the cave became a well-known spot for both experienced and amateur cavers, particularly students from a nearby university. However, its extremely tight spaces made it really dangerous, obviously.
Yeah.
And by the early 2000s, multiple rescues had already been conducted to free trapped explorers. Multiple.
Like how many?
The only
Doesn't give
information
you-
I got was multiple.
Oh,
If I dug
more than one is
More than
enough.
many, right.
Right, it's one too many.
So on November 24th, 2009, at 26 years old, the last person to explore this cave was named John Edward Jones. He was a med student, a husband,
So we should have known better.
and a father.
So,
And this is where I got you, too. So the entrance to Nutty Putty Cave, it's simply a hole in the ground, and it led deeper into the underground maze of tunnels. John was exploring with a group of people, including his brother, and they were carefully working their way deeper into the earth, and the group was made up of experienced cave explorers.
well, there's no amount of experience that you could
Now,
have. It's like, oh, I'm now wedged to where I cannot move. You guys, what kind of experience do you have with that? What does that mean? All of your experience, all of my experience being wrapped in earth? What does that mean? There's no amount of experience that you could have that can prepare you for this kind of ridiculous, and I don't care. Come and leave terrible comments about, oh, I'm a cave diver. Sir or madam, you have responsibilities in this life. This man was a med student, a husband, and a father. Go barbecue.
go
It's like,
swim.
go for it right. You want to get crazy? Jaywalk.
Listen, I'm not behind this either, because I think this is terrifying. Because I also get a little bit of claustrophobia, too.
Little bit. I struggle through an MRI. They had to cancel it on me. Because I said, I'm going to go in that enormous hole, and I'm not going to be able to get out.
Yeah. I get it. Listen, I get it. So, I know. So wait. Just wait.
All right, yeah. Okay.
So like I said, he was exploring with a group of people, including his brother, and their whole lives they had, done crazy exploration type of thing.
God.
They were looking for a passage known as the birth canal.
Oh, that's good. That's reassuring.
Now, if anybody knows anything about female anatomy, the birth canal is very small. So this is probably very properly named.
Let's go. Let's hunt in this cave for unescapable death.
And the birth canal really is only meant for like experienced cavers.
Oh, of course.
It's mapped on
Sure.
the official map and everything.
Oh, boy. Official maps. Whoever made the official map should be drawn in court.
Well, you gotta blame the people from the 1960s who discovered it.
Nitwits. They didn't have cable.
Right, they had to find stuff.
Right.
Out.
They were doing anything. Oh, honey, I got to go out and crawl through these rocks. They didn't want to be home in the 60s.
No. It's amazing that marriages lasted, I feel like. Because I feel like so many people just hated each other.
Oh, we won't be having any of that, Margaret.
What a terrible
I'm
time.
going to go crawl through rocks now instead of my fatherly duties.
I can't. So,
Fools.
John, the 26-year-olds we're speaking about, separated from the group because he found a very tight passage
Sure. And that's attractive to him.
that he thought was the birth canal. Not the whole group didn't want to try to find it. Only a few of them did.
A few nitwits.
John being one of them. The tight passage that he found was only 10 inches by 18 inches. Pretty much like just the size enough for his torso, maybe to get there.
He's a very trim boy. I wouldn't be able to put my leg in there. I don't think.
On my thigh, I'd be like,
I'm like, oh, well, that's it for me.
Yeah, so here we go. As he inched forward, his body scraped against the rocks around him,
Of course it did.
and it was tighter and tighter. And he realized he made a very, very big mistake.
Yeah, no kidding. I could have told you that when you made the decision to do this.
He was not in the birth canal. He was in a passage that he did not intend to be in.
Was this one named?
This was an unmapped crevice.
Of course it was.
So it wasn't even something
Wasn't even on the map.
that anybody had any business looking to go into at all. He tried to back out, but his arms got pinned. The walls were pressing around his ribs, making it incredibly hard to breathe.
Sure. Why wouldn't it?
So obviously he was stuck. And not only was he stuck, he had wriggled into the passage head first, and he was upside down at an 80-degree angle. Like just lodged himself in there. So, of all people, his brother found him first. He heard
he was still alive?
he was still alive. He heard his muffled cries.
I'm gonna assume this guy dies in this rock.
Just listen. So his brother found him because he was, crying out for help. When he reached the passage entrance,
My brother would have smelt me. And would have been like, oh, is there a wafting scent of shit running through this cave?
it would have just been a trail.
Smells like Chris, I think. Chris shit on himself in fear.
Oh my god, yeah. No, there would be definite shit coming from you. So when he actually reached this unmapped entrance to this passage, he actually couldn't see any part of John. John had gotten so deep that there was no visibility to how deep he actually was.
Oh my god.
So after that, after he finds him, he realizes he's stuck while dozens of rescuers were called. Now, in this case, there's always teams, right? Because they have anchors and pulleys and all this stuff. So there's all these teams, and they were trying to actively rescue John for 27 hours.
Oh my god. He was stuck upside down, 80 degrees.
27
in a tent.
hours. Wild. So they got him once, nearly pulled him free, but the rocks around John shifted, the rope snapped, and John slid further into the passage than he was before they tried to pull him out. So after that, everyone knew, including John, there was no possibility of rescue. John was able to speak to his wife one last time on the phone, which was passed down through the tunnels. He told her he loved her and that he was so sorry. And then you could hear him praying through, the echoes of the chamber. As time went on, his breathing slowed, pressure on his brain increased, his heartbeat faded, and eventually the cave claimed John's life.
Well,
John's final hours were a battle against his own body, the crushing force of gravity, and the slow, inescapable shutdown of his organs and the collapse of his circulatory system.
yeah, because like how long now? You're just slowly dying.
It was 27 plus hours.
Well,
The
sure,
rescuers,
right. So that goes on. So
Mhm.
a person who's in shape, healthy, the body can go without water for how long? Was it 72 hours or something?
I forget what the time frame is. Yeah.
So, he was in there for a few days, probably just slowly
Mm-hmm.
dying. There's nothing you could do.
Mhm.
Imagine.
Like your fate is sealed at that point.
Well, you should have known your fate was sealed from the moment that you
Well,
decided to cram your head into a tiny little.
they like to think that they're gonna make it.
But-
And, most people do, but how many rescue attempts are there?
Right, you're wasting such.
Yep.
Risking everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Selfish people.
Well, that's the thing. It's these rescuers now risk their lives
Right.
to come and get
I
you.
ain't coming to get you. If I'm a rescuer, I'm not. I don't know why I wouldn't be a rescuer. If I would refuse. I refuse to take that job. I'd be the worst rescuer. I'd be like, good, he deserves it. I'm not going to get him.
A kid.
No, it's obviously unfortunate that this guy died, and he left behind a wife and a child.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But you shouldn't listen, guys. Please,
Please.
don't go cave diving.
hey, there's plenty to see on the land.
See,
Have you been to Yosemite by any chance, or seen the towering redwoods?
or if you're in the middle of the country, have you seen the ocean? Because that's really nice.
Right.
Go to a
Travel. Say, you know what?
either coast. Go see
Instead
the
of-
ocean.
Cramming myself in this tiny cave.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive for 16 hours to the beach and, look at the Atlantic or the Pacific,
Yeah.
even the Gulf. I'll still look at
The
anything.
golf is nice.
Look at it. Wonderful things to your eyes to behold, not pitch blackness with your head sandwiched between two rocks.
Mhm. So, at 11:56 p.m. on November 25th,
Ugh.
2009, John Jones was pronounced dead from cardiac arrest caused by suffocation and shock. Now, to add insult to injury, because of how narrow the tunnels were and unstable the rocks were, rescuers had to leave John's body behind.
Yeah, of course. It's like the people on Everest.
The entrance was sealed with concrete, and Nutty Putty Cave became John's tragic tomb. So no one has entered the cave since, and hopefully no one ever will again. But they say if you stand quietly where the entrance was, you can hear the whispers of the cave calling for one more soul.
Oh, come on, stupid. Come on in. Hey, come. Poke your head in here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wild. And then I also looked up, the physical things that his body was going through. I don't know if we want to get into that because it's very graphic.
It's probably disgusting.
But without giving details, basically what they said happened is blood pools, obviously.
Sure, you're upside down.
Your brain swells. Your lungs are compressed because of obviously the restricted area that you're in. You have circulatory shock and organ failure, and nerve damage and excruciating pain.
It's the worst environment imaginable.
It's a slow, painful,
It's painful death.
panic-stricken
Panic.
way to die.
Panic is what really.
They say there's always panic-induced.
Hyperventilate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you suffocate. Probably
your heart is working overtime.
You're expelling so much CO out, and you just.
Yeah. Yep. So that is the story of John and Nutty Putty Cave, and his body is forever
just entombed in that cave.
Sad.
So sad.
So sad. So, again, don't go cave diving, please.
Yeah. Wow.
Did that freak you out?
It did. It did. I think I'm gonna win though.
Yeah, you're gonna win.
Yeah, I think so.
See, this was perfect in my mind, at least as a first step.
Definitely. Listen, we got our feet wet
because you hate this.
I hate stupidity. One. Stupidity A is one.
Cave diving
2.
And the fact that this man died as a father.
As a young.
And a young father. I know that.
So
upset you.
That's just. Worse. Yeah, it's miserable. That was just misery.
It's just a sad, terrible.
That story was misery.
That shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have ever happened.
No, I agree.
So,
speaking of things that shouldn't have ever happened. Obviously, I believe that you're complete, right?
I am complete.
You're complete. Your show's complete.
I'm complete.
Well, now we're going to take a trip from Utah to Texas. San Antonio, circa 2004.
Okay, so around the same time.
Around the same time, a little earlier.
That's funny that we did something like that. Okay.
A train for the Union Pacific Freight Line was running. It was operated by a company, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, running its usual route in a rural area in San Antonio. When there was an accident. The train derailed. The train wrecked. Train conductor Heath Pape, who was 23. Gene Hale, and I don't have his first name, but it's Krober, I believe his name was. John Krober, I think. All three of them. It was a freight line, so it was very low staff.
Mm-hmm.
They died. Lo and behold, the train line runs behind residences. So one of the homes, right directly behind, about 100 or so feet, was a man named Wayne Hale and his wife Mary. Wayne was 67, his wife was 65. This happened at around 5 a.m.
They were inside?
They were home. The train was carrying, the freight that this train was carrying was chlorine gas.
No.
So, what happens to these folks? They also, Wayne's brother-in-law, Mary's brother Robbie, was also staying with them at the time when this obvious wreck, the sound of a train crash happening, roused them from their sleep at 5 a.m.
So the it was 3 employees?
3 employees, yeah.
They died from...
inhalation.
Inhalation of the gas.
Of the gas.
Okay.
So, They wake up now, rousted out of their bed from the sound of a train crash.
Mhm.
They start choking. Can't breathe. They don't know what's happening immediately. They panic. They don't know what to do. They start running around the house, grabbing any kind of pillow, blanket,
To filter.
to try and cover their faces, to stuff in windows, to stuff under doors, because there's just a fog now that's just sitting on top of their home. Wayne doesn't know what to do with himself. On his property, he had a really big piece of property, and his stepmother and stepsister both lived on the property as well.
Oh my God. So many family members were on
this property, right? So he called them, told them what happened.
Yeah.
They were a little bit further away from
the tracks.
Yeah. So tells them like there was a train wreck, something happened. This gas. You guys okay? Is everything all right? We have to figure out how to get out of here. So Wayne now looks out his back window of his house towards the direction of the tracks. Like I said, it's probably a little over 100 feet, they said.
Wow.
And, over the top of the trees, he just sees a shimmering arc of liquid shooting over the trees onto his property, landing over the trees onto his grass. And he says it's making just a sheen coming towards his house. And everything this liquid's touching, all the vegetation, all the plants, is immediately just dying.
Wow.
Everything's just wilting and turning brown immediately as it's just coming towards their house.
Oh boy.
So immediately it's like, well, we got to get the fuck out of here. Let's get in our truck
And just go.
and go.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the train derailment blocked the only road that led off of their property. And the only way out of their property, the area, was through farmland.
So it actually derailed like on their property.
On their property, right. It was,
It was
what was behind their property. It wasn't directly
but
on their
100
property.
feet
100
is
feet is not a lot.
When you're talking
No, it's right
train
there. Right, it's right there.
and your property vicinity, that's not
So
a lot of space.
the road's blocked. There's one road in, one road out. And the only other way to go is through the farmland. Now, the only problem with that is, unfortunately, for the entire week prior, San Antonio received an enormous amount of rain.
Okay.
So, now, for instance, they get about 30 inches annually. New Jersey gets 40, where we are.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so they get a little bit less rain than
Yeah.
we do. So, but just so happened that whole week before it rained.
Okay.
And the fields were just covered in mud.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, they would need a 4-wheel drive
Yeah, to get through.
to get through. And that Wayne and Mary did not have that. They had a Suburban, but it was rear-wheel drive.
Okay.
So there was nothing that they could do. On their property, Wayne had a small office building where he would like work out. It was a small little sealed off, just no bigger than like a large shed.
Okay.
But it was completely sealed, which I think that's a really good thing to do. Like I
To
didn't
have a seal.
like to have like seal I looked like why don't they seal houses? Like so it doesn't let in anything. I guess it's a big job, but I don't know anything about contracting or anything like that. But they seal.
But a shed is easy.
Right. So he had seal it from weather, seal it from pests,
Right,
all this, that, and the other thing.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, if I can get to that building,
Get
ourselves inside there, close this up, we have a few hours. He also knew that he had a tank of oxygen in their garage, that if they needed it, they could last a few more hours with that because it was getting really, really hard to breathe
okay.
in the house. So now they had a plan. Let's get the oxygen. Let's go to the office. At this point, they didn't know what the train was carrying. They didn't know this was chlorine gas. They didn't know they didn't know what it was doing to them. They just knew they had to figure something out.
Yeah.
And they had the plan now. But now there was one problem. Wayne reached into his pocket to get his keys. After he got dressed, he put his his pants on the floor. His keys were in his pants. Picked them up, put them in, gotta get out of here. Reaches in to grab his keys. And he feels wet in his pants. He pulls out, and there's just a glob of just green corroded metal.
Oh, his keys melted?
Keys melted. So he couldn't use them. He couldn't get into his garage. He couldn't get into the shed. The chlorine corroded all of the metal on his keys. So Wayne was partially deaf, so his wife Mary had to make the calls for a 911.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 911 call was made at around 6 a.m.
Okay.
And he was like, we need help to get here.
Yeah.
Someone has to come and help us here. And the 911 operator informed them that they were familiar with what was going on, and they would be responding, coming for a rescue, essentially. So they said, but we have to do something. So now, the only key that he had that wasn't destroyed, luckily, was his car key.
Oh.
So he decided, let's get in the car and see if we can get out of here,
Wouldn't all the mechanics of the car be corroded at this point, too?
Well, you don't know the concentration of where everything is,
The type of metal,
right.
I guess, and everything.
It's all right. So that's what I said. I said, how is, because some things, as I go on, you'll see there's there's concentrated areas, I guess, of where the gas was more prominent. Because like I said, there was an arc of it shooting.
Yeah.
So maybe it was more concentrated where the house was. The car was a little bit away from the house.
Right. Okay.
So they decided that, they have to go out. So they said that when they left the home, it was like a low-hanging fog, and it made visibility a problem. They later find out that wasn't fog. That was chlorine gas just sitting on top of them. So they get in the car, they load up, Robbie, Mary, Wayne, and they drive up the road, and that's where they see the wreckage. And there was just a heap of train cars. One of them was standing straight up in the air. They said it looked like it was like something out of a movie. The road, though, was completely blocked. So there was no hope. And they're like, we made this call and no one's here yet. Like, where is everyone? What's happening? So, now what do we do?
That's panic.
You can imagine how much they're panicking.
Yeah.
So now what? Now what do you do? Let's drive down the other way. Let's see what we can do. So down the road that their house leads to, there was a river that ran nearby. So they were like, okay, maybe if we could make our way to the river, we could somehow cross and get away from all of this. So they get to the river, and there's a big steel gate blocking the whole length of the river, blocking the road from, separating the two. So there's no way they could get over this guardrail. And they're all, elderly. They're not in the best, so there's really nothing. They couldn't climb it. It was about 8 to 10 feet tall.
Wow.
And they were looking, so maybe the train knocked the part of the fence down, maybe. There was no down part of the fence, nothing. So nothing they could do. So they decided to head back, and they ended up going down a neighbor's long driveway.
Okay.
They're very, these property, they're very rural, very long, almost like streets to get up to the people's houses.
Yeah.
So they find this long neighbor's driveway. They head on up, and he sees another gate blocking the entrance to this man's property.
Okay.
So Wayne, trying to think on his feet a little bit, panicking a little bit, he turned his truck around. Now, like I said, he had a big Suburban, and he decided, I'm going to ram it back into the fence to knock it down. Because I got to do something.
Right. You have to do something.
So, he thought backing into it, I'm going to, I won't set the airbags off this way. We'll buckle up and floor it. So he did that, and rammed it. Desperate times at this point, call for desperate measures. And maybe if he was able to get onto these people's property, he was thinking that maybe there's a way out through their property.
Right.
Maybe there's a different way. Maybe the fields aren't as muddy over there. Maybe we can get out. I can imagine at that point going through this, even if it's just an hour that you've been experiencing this, you're going to try anything.
Yeah, there's desperation.
So he slams it and gets out of his car to see if he knocked it down, because the impact he felt when he hit it was enormous.
Okay.
He, in fact, did not knock the fence down, but what he did do was crush the whole back of his car in, that he thinks that the metal was weakened due to the chlorine
Oh my
of his truck.
God.
And so he totaled it. Couldn't even move it out of the position now.
So now they're
Now they're on foot. And the icing on the cake is that when he walked around, I talked about the fog before and how thick it was and it was lying. When he walked to check the fence in the back of his car, he got close enough to the fence and saw directly on the other side of the fence was a logging truck buried in the mud, only maybe about a foot or two behind the fence. So even if he would have been able to ram it,
he wouldn't have gotten.
he wouldn't have been able to get through.
They were trapped.
So regardless, so now
Oh my God.
he didn't knock the fence, and now he has no car. So now at this point, it's about 3 hours into the whole thing, so the derailment.
They must be, at this point, whatever poisoning their bodies must have from breathing in, right?
Right.
Like this prolonged exposure. I don't know.
So Mary calls 911 again, and it's like, what the hell is happening? 911 assures her that their help is on the way, blah, blah, blah. Just, try and stay in the fresh air, try and
stay alive, basically.
basically try and live.
Until we get there.
So they hang up. They're like, we don't know what to do. About 8 minutes go by. Their phone rings. It's the 911 calling them back.
Okay.
911 tells them, go home. This is what you have to do. You have to go home and make sure you turn off your air conditioner. Make sure your windows are sealed up. Get
I know where this is going.
Get inside one room and just stay there, and help is going to come and get you. So they return to the house, and now at this point Mary and Robbie couldn't walk. They're suffocating themselves. So Wayne now had to carry them inside. So now when he gets into the house, he notices the clock on his wall is not working anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what the fuck? He goes into his kitchen, and he had all stainless steel appliances, and they're melting. He said it was like a tidal wave, not a tidal wave, a waterfall coming off his counters
My God.
from his microwave melting.
It's like the T-1000 in Terminator
Right,
2.
exactly. So Wayne decided that after his wife and brother-in-law were inside, he was going to go and help his stepmother and stepsister see what was going on. Their house was only about 200 yards or so away, so he's like, now at this point, Mary had 911 on the phone again.
Okay.
And I'd imagine in this situation, you would be just calling them nonstop.
Oh, I would.
It's
100%.
So Wayne tells Mary to tell them that he's going to get his family, his stepmom and his stepsister. So
Right.
the 911 operator tells them, no, they've already been rescued.
What?
So now you'd imagine that the mixed feelings that Wayne has. It's like, I tried to escape with my family. Help came, and I wasn't here.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, he was probably thrilled that his mom and stepsister
Yeah.
rescued,
Yeah.
but now I'd probably be a little pissed at myself. Like, what the fuck did I do? I
Fun.
tried to escape on my own.
Yeah.
I wrecked my car, almost killed, and we could have been rescued. So now the 911 operator reiterates to shut your AC off and wait,
Mm-hmm.
but now they're becoming more and more frustrated. They're inside one room, they're huddled together. Mary and Robbie can't walk, and now Wayne can't carry them because he's becoming more and more winded.
Right.
So they really had no choice at this point but to wait. So now with nothing else to do, Wayne started to get restless, and he's just like, I have to figure out how the hell to get the hell out of here. So
And that would be you,
it has to
100%.
go, right?
Yeah.
And so Wayne had an old work truck on property. It was beat to hell. It was something that he started with a screwdriver.
Right.
It's like, I could just tap the cylinder. I had an old Buick like that. My first car is to be able to start with a screwdriver. Buick. So he went to see if it would start, and luckily it turned on. So he pulled it up close to the house. Once he got close to the house, he decided, I'm going to climb up on top of this. I'm going to jump on the bed and get up onto the roof
Mm.
to maybe give myself a better vantage point, to see what I can see, to maybe if I could see rescue coming.
Okay.
So he does that. He jumps up, and as soon as he stands up on top of the roof of the car, he's out of the fog.
Oh, no way.
And it's like it's like
We're above it.
this is air. Like
Yeah.
and he could see the wreckage only, 100 or so feet from his house.
Right.
And he could see the emergency service people over there around the train wreck.
Wow.
But he's watching these guys, and they're trying to climb through the wreckage, through the gas. And he's thinking to himself, why are these guys trying to climb up the middle when they can just go 100 or so yards in either direction and get around it without any obstructions?
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't, what is happening? What are these people doing? So Wayne and Mary had a few dogs also who were in just as bad a shape as them.
Yeah.
One of the dogs was Mary's shadow, used to follow around everywhere. And that one particular dog refused to leave Mary's side. Wayne tried to bring the dogs outside and tell them, run,
Yeah.
just go, get the hell out of here. He opened the gate for them, but they wouldn't leave. The one didn't even leave the house. It stayed next to Mary, and they said it was coughing. And it was coughing up stuff that looked like chopped meat.
Oh, no.
High inhalation of chlorine gas
Or-
deteriorates
Right.
lung tissue.
Yeah.
So that's what he was coughing up, pieces of his lung.
Oh.
Now, around this time, Mary and Wayne were contacted. Their phone rang again. There was a group of volunteers who were working with emergency services who told them that there's no gas to the southeast of them. So, and that's the way that they would be coming in. They would be coming in on 4 ATVs, and they would have enough oxygen for them to last for 4 hours.
Okay.
They said they would be there in about 20 minutes. So now it's like, finally, after all this, after all these hours, we have some semblance of hope
Right.
that we're going to get out of here. An hour later,
Huh.
there's still no one there. And that's when their phone rings. And it's the same volunteer telling them that the local sheriff, cordoned off the area and he won't let them pass. And that he told them that they would be fired upon if they tried to. So when they asked if they could speak to someone in charge of the sheriff's department, like there's people in there that need help and we're going to help them, they claim, we have no idea who's in charge. They don't know who's in charge.
Oh, my God.
But if you try and pass, we're going to shoot you. So now things are looking grim. Wayne is now coughing up tissue as well.
Oh, my God.
Mary and Robbie are in awful shape. Wayne, they're on the phone with 911. It's been about 4 hours. At this point, Wayne decides, I have to figure something out. He sees his phone book, like the yellow page. He opens the yellow pages and he sees that whatever it's listed under in the yellow pages, he finds like a private rescue firm.
Okay.
He found 2 of them. So he calls the first one and they told him that it's going to take at least 2 hours for us to get.
Oh.
So Wayne tells him, like, I said, I'm not sure if I'm
going to make it.
Make it 2 hours, And he also told him, like, the sheriff is threatening to shoot people who try and come in here. And they told him, they're like, oh, we're not worried about the sheriff. We're worried about that you'll be dead and there'll be no one to pay us.
Jesus Christ.
So can you imagine that's like you're hearing on the phone, that's what you hear? So he told them that, like, yeah, I'll call you back. Like, that's what these people are worried about. Like, so now he's frantic, trying to figure out how to get them out of the house. Their son, Charles, who was a fireman in another county, happened to be on his way to another job when he heard what was going on over the radio.
Okay.
And he decided to call emergency services himself and was like, what's going on? And they told him, like, oh, everything's, being handled. They're going to be, we're working on it.
Yeah, sure.
He decided, I'm leaving. And I'm racing to the scene. And he gets there. He sees what's going on. He sees the area cordoned off, the sheriffs. He goes up to the deputies and he tells them that, I'm going in here to get my parents. And they told him, if you pass this barrier, you're going to be arrested. So he said, fine, arrest me. I don't care. I'll, arrest me when I get back. And that's when they drew their guns on him and told him that they'll shoot him if you cross the line. Like, you'll die here.
Oh, my God.
So he's like, well, I guess I can't go and get them because they're just going to shoot me dead here.
Then it's like pointless to...
Right. I'm just going to die.
Right.
So now at this point, they're about 4 or 5 hours in. You can imagine how desperate they are for any kind of relief. So what happens is they call 911 again. 911 tells them, people are coming. What you should do in the meantime is get inside the bathtub and run the shower on you
Okay.
to decontaminate yourself. So once the rescuers get there, they can get you out as quick as possible so they don't have to waste more time outside decontaminating you before they can take you out.
Please.
Again, they're desperate. Any kind of relief in this they'll take. But it turns out that when you mix
Water.
water with chlorine gas, you get hydrochloric acid. So if anyone who's watched Breaking Bad, which is I've been watching recently again
Yeah.
for the dozenth time,
Yep.
that's how they melt the bodies of the people they kill.
Oh.
And turns out that the gas has seeped into the water lines. So they get in, Wayne puts Mary in the shower, turns it on, climbs in behind his wife. And now since they had the AC turned off and all the nooks and crannies of the house blocked with blankets
Uh-huh.
and pillows and shirts, there's nothing to let the dampness out.
Right. There's no
There's
ventilation.
no ventilation. So with the water running, the dampness in the air begins to, like it does when you take a really steamy shower.
Mm-hmm.
They said that the windows and mirrors and everything looked like they started becoming covered with like a green slime.
Ugh.
So they essentially, at this point, were turning their bathroom into a gas chamber.
Right.
And now parts of their skin were peeling off of them.
Oh my God.
So immediately, Wayne dragged his wife out of the bathroom. Robbie was too weak to even get up to go into the bathroom.
Okay, so he wasn't even in there.
And now at this point, Mary stops breathing.
Oh no.
Wayne begins to give her mouth to mouth. Her breathing started, she started breathing again. Then she stopped. Started again and stopped. This went on for 45 minutes.
Holy shit.
He was resuscitating his wife over and over and over.
You better have that same dedication as me, let me tell you.
They're about 7 hours now into this ordeal when finally a bang on the door.
7.
Standing there is a fireman decked out in his gear, shouting now how the air has now turned hydrochloric.
Oh my
You have to get out.
God.
He drags them outside, hoses them off, and helicopter lifts them out. Now, while he's loading them into the helicopter, the fireman began pointing to the places on property, asking them, is anybody else in these buildings?
Right.
So Wayne told him, no, the house. They asked about the house 200 yards up, his stepmother and stepsister's house. No, they've already been rescued. The fireman just said, nobody's been rescued off this property. The sheriff lied to them. They both died in their home.
No way.
Mary died twice on the way to the hospital and then once in the hospital. She was revived all the times. Robbie died 4 months later due to lung trauma.
Oh.
2 of their 3 dogs died. Wayne and Mary sued Union Pacific Railroad and settled out of court. I would have personally sued every single human being that...
Also the sheriff's department. Everybody.
But, this happened in 2004. Mary passed away in 2016.
Wow.
And Wayne shortly after in 2017.
Wow.
So they lived a little bit long, a decent amount of time afterwards. But
For having that much trauma.
in that 7-hour ordeal, they lost a majority of their family
I have chills.
and almost themselves,
Wow.
just because of they couldn't escape their own home.
So what I've learned from this is A, don't live near a freight line. B, have a sealed shed. And C, have oxygen and air respirators and masks.
Yes, and get the hell out of there. And don't rely on anyone to come and help.
And also a bunker in case of a zombie apocalypse.
Yes, I don't know where the zombies come from, but you know what?
Well, I'm just thinking about
Be
having the
probably a
preparation.
good idea.
So you should have the bunker.
It's probably a good idea.
Chris is a big fan of having a bunker.
I want a
We
bunker.
will have one day.
We'll see.
We will do it.
You'll all see.
Okay, yeah, I think you might have won this one.
I mean,
I'm gonna give it in right now.
it's tough.
Well,
I mean,
we got,
cave diving is rough, but
I know the cave diving is rough, but this one was
It's just a relentless.
relentless. And the dogs dying.
Everyone, just you're melting. Your lungs are melting.
The lies of saying that the stepmom and sister were saved.
Yeah.
I literally have chills.
Yeah. Sorry. I hate to do it to you all, but that's the name of the show.
So yeah, I mean, I think we'd love to hear from you guys to
Yeah,
see what
please.
disturbed you more.
Let us know if you're listening on Spotify. Let us know in the comments.
If you happen to be watching based on our facial expressions, let us know who was.
Let us know who you thought was more disturbed. And until next time, my friends,
Thanks for joining.
stay
Out of caves.
stay disturbed.